AskReddit violence a distraction. What celebrity do you think is evil in their soul? Lost Prophets singer Ian Watkins. One of the worst stories I've ever heard. The YouTube channel Dreading did a great episode on him. I was shocked the police tried to arrest the woman who tipped him off. Insane. Michelle Duggar, her son Josh, and her husband Jim Bob. Literal trash. I'm from where they are and working in retail 4 years after high school, I had the pleasure of coming across them many times. Michelle is a brainwashed trash bag whose sole claim to fame is spitting out babies one after the other and having the older kids raise them. I wanted to puke every time someone was starstruck by these assholes. Jim Bob is a huge prick in person and loves to talk down to people. Josh is a vile waste of oxygen if I've ever met one. Shortly after the news came out about him molesting all of those girls and sisters, he came in where I worked trying to return things. We worked off a membership, so I asked for his card, and this slime, who's wearing a baseball hat and sunglasses inside, had the audacity to ask, "You don't know who I am?" I'm like, "No, should I?" He quietly said, "Josh Duggar." Since I was quitting that nightmare job soon anyways, I saw my chance to make a scene with this fool. I yelled loudly, "Oh, Josh Duggar? Yes, I know exactly who you are, Josh Duggar. I still need a membership card." He turned around and walked out the door, lol. Anyways. TLDR, I totally had them. The young women in the family were always very pleasant though. Jimmy Savile is disgusting. That Netflix show about him is wild. I couldn't believe it. So well done. Thankfully he's been dead for almost 2 years, but Phil Spector. He produced one of my favorite bands, the Ramones, but man, he was a massive piece of shit. The murderous bastard murdered Lana Clarkson in 2003 in his home. He also threatened to kill Dee Dee Ramone over the production of their 5th album. In his autobiography, Dee Dee Ramone remembers the wildest point of the recording process when Spector pulled out a gun on him. He leveled his gun at my heart and then motioned for me and the rest of the band to get back in the piano room. The bassist wrote, https://phil-spector-tried-to-kill-the-Ramones/?am When the Lana Clarkson murder happened, one of his assistants said they were surprised Spector didn't shoot someone every year. Oh yeah, there's also the fact of Ronnie Spector of the Ronettes, his ex-wife, having to escape from him barefoot in the middle of the night. Kenneth Copeland. Dude literally looks like a demon stuffed into a human skin suit. Jared Leto is gonna have a soul-crushing tell-all about his sex cult island. I was scrolling to find his name. He's also had a ton of accusations about being super aggressive, creepy during sexual encounters, and he most likely preyed on the Olsen twins while they were underage. Suge Knight. He oozes evil. I'm convinced he's behind Biggie's death. Probably Tupac too. He was behind Biggie's death but not Tupac's. Tupac died because he attacked and humiliated a real gangster, and that real gangster did real gangster things. Suge is weird because you hear many different versions of his character. There are stories of him being very kind and giving. There are stories of him being insane and deranged. He reminds me of a real life Tony Soprano. Dan Schneider. I'm so glad all the shit he's done has come to light, including demanding the costume department give him Polaroids of young girl actresses in revealing clothing he picked for them to wear in the shows, and all the NDAs and hush money Nickelodeon pushed onto parents, and Nickelodeon let it happen for years. Super fucked up. Harvey Weinstein. Man, if Courtney Love tells you not to go to party because Weinstein is there, don't go. R. Kelly. I don't know if anyone else is as old as me, but I remember watching Dave Chappelle where he did his Piss on You skit. I looked it up and was shocked. Oh my goodness, also the Boondocks covered it. I remember being young and thinking this stuff was just made up until I researched it myself, and I was beyond appalled and shocked. This man is an entire ass monster. Kenneth Copeland. 100% the dude makes atheists believe in demons. Steven Seagal. He is very creepy and 100% one of those guys who goes to Asia for sex trafficking and is unusually close and cozy with a lot of dictators and makes a lot of films in foreign countries, which is probably for money laundering purposes. On top of that, he has numerous allegations of rape and sexual assault. He is most definitely evil. You know the so-so movie series The Expendables? They have had nearly every 80s to 90s action star in them at one point or another. Except for one. And we all know why. The bitch face family vloggers who treat kids like trained animals. I don't want to name names since I don't know any specifically, and I refuse to give those parasites a moment of my time by looking them up. I have a personal grudge against the bint who adopted an autistic child from China then rehomed him. Everyone in the Sackler family. They created OxyContin and the global opioid epidemic for pure profit, not caring about the nukes they were dropping on families or the lives they destroyed. Their only concern for getting people addicted to Oxy was that it would guarantee repeat sales. The good news is they are getting soaked for it in civil court to the tune of billions. They are looking into all corners of the family to find money to take as well. And Edick has done everything from indirectly causing Phil Hartman's death to grooming children. He's been sexually assaulting people both publicly and privately for decades. Yeah, you read that right. Decades. And he hasn't been held accountable for his actions once. Any other celebrity would have been in prison by now if they had done the same shit he has. He only just recently got put on the sex offender registry, and the sad part is knowing he won't learn damn a thing from it. I love that John Lovitz punched Dick in the mouth. Davey Vanity Dude is an absolute scumbag who physically, verbally, and sexually abused so many underage girls and is still roaming free. He abused his former bandmate, had his toxic fans bully one of his victims. Not only is the guy a no talent hack, he is just a monster. Joel Osteen. I'd say Kenneth Copeland. Literally looks like a demon. Any celebrity that took Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express. I was going to ask how much time do you have, but this answer is very helpful. Even before his bizarre political campaign, Dr. Oz was a snake oil salesman who preyed on people with body image issues. His show was like a long infomercial about miracle cure diet pills and questionably effective medical advice. Taking advantage of people's insecurities for a quick buck make you a terrible person. I don't care if you went to medical school. This isn't even touching on all the things Oz did during 2020 that definitely got people sick. The excellent podcast Behind the Bastards did a great couple episodes on Oz. Weirdest thing to me is that he was legitimately an amazing surgeon. Could have made a profitable career from doing surgery, giving lectures, writing legit books, etc., and he would be beloved by all. Instead he went the slimeball route. Nancy Grace. Evil, vile human being who has ruined countless lives with her false narratives, even leading to suicide. There is nothing redeeming about this woman. Yes. I live about 3 blocks from where Trent and Duckett lived. When that little boy disappeared, Nancy Grace showed up here and hounded them on to the point she went to her parents' or grandparents' house and killed herself. Nothing solved, no answers, zip. And to this day I don't believe they found a hair of that poor kid. She should have been charged W interfering in a police investigation. O.J. Simpson. Not a Jew. And Edick. He's a terrible person and he's clearly got serious addiction and mental health issues. He is awful to be around too. A group of friends I was with at a bar in Hollywood one night saw him. He happened to know one of the girls we were with as she works in the end movies and basically latched himself onto us. We had to ditch him and went to that same girl's apartment, not very close mind you, probably a 10-minute walk. We were on the balcony smoking a joint having some drinks and here comes Andy down on the street yelling at all of us to be let up and more or less having a tantrum about it. He screamed until he pretty much just gave up and sauntered off into the night. So fucking weird. I would say Bill Cosby. He has been convicted of multiple sexual assault charges and has been accused of drugging and assaulting numerous women over the years. Even if he is innocent of some of the charges, his behavior and attitude towards the victims and the public have been callous and manipulative. That was one of those revelations that just hurt, where some innocence was chipped off our souls. The Cosby Show was like one of those comfort shows when I was sick, and to find out how he victimized so many women and was just unrepentant. I just hope nothing comes out about Dolly Parton. Jared Leto. Man gives off the worst vibes ever, and what he does doesn't really help his image either. As the years go by, with the way he acts, his big scene in Fight Club gets more and more satisfying. Ezra Miller. We need to talk about Kevin was a little too real. Donking. The boxing promoter. Mike Tyson said, he did more bad to black fighters than any white promoter ever in the history of boxing. Chris Brown. How we haven't cancelled this man yet we've cancelled countless other celebrities is baffling. No solid evidence against him but James Franco makes me uneasy. Enough women have spoken out about him and Seth Rogen cutting ties with him doesn't help his case. Oh yes, I wanted to say James Franco. He makes my skin crawl. As the ancient folk wisdom goes, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. It's hard out there for a pimp. Chris Brown. We turned off the AMA awards recently when he won for R&B of the year. We both looked at each other, said what the fuck at the same time and turned to something else. And yes, we still have cable TV. K-Lau. Arthur K-Lau. That little shitball can rot in hell.